Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome this evening. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Sunday evening to join us here tonight, honey. We're going to get into some things, those things, other things. Okay? Hello, God. So, how we're doing this? All right. Is we're going to have a real intimate, very real, down to earth, many layers of discussion, but first, reconciliation. Hello God will be taking place. So if you haven't done so by now, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And to go a step further, I humbly ask that you tap that notification bell. That way you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at YB Speaks. And we have a special introduction, honey, hello God, brought to you by Miss Chloe Von Dutch herself. I'm going to bring her up. She's going to give a wonderful introduction, and we're going to get into the things, okay?
Hey everyone, what's going on? Okay, so today's episode is all about clearing the air and having a real conversation that needed to happen. In the world of web reality, there's always been a thin line between the stars who live it and the reviewers who break it down. Sometimes the line brings respect, sometimes it brings tension, and let's be honest, sometimes it brings pure drama. We all been there, you know what I'm saying? That's why I brought two voices to the table today who represent both sides of the line. We've got Robert Ray, reality star and the press on king, who's my daddy, and who's no stranger to being in the spotlight. And we also got YB Speaks, one of the most one of the most talked about reviewers in the space, whose critiques have sparked plenty of conversation on their own. They're both here today to settle the score, speak their truth, and hopefully we'll walk away with a better understanding of each other. Maybe even get on the same page. So buckle up because this is the conversation with Robert Ray and YB Speaks. Let's get to it.
Girl, I'm gonna give you a pass. It's your first
I
time.
don't know first time. I first time. I haven't
Girl,
okay, yeah. Anyway,
it's your first time, girl. It was really lovely. It was really cute. Yes, girl. The more you do this,
yeah, I get used to it.
the more it just becomes like second nature, honey. Hello, God. But I love it. Thank you so much for the introduction. And again,
Okay.
everybody, why we are here today. There are different phases of this conversation. First, obviously, myself and Robert Ray. Shout out to Chloe for even bringing up the idea or having the thought to, want to bring some unity in the community amongst myself and Robert Ray. For those that don't know, just like any marriage child, you have your ups and your downs. And, in the beginning, so much love and respect for Robert Ray. And then things took a turn. Me being the reviewer, me being strong, in my perspectives and my opinions about the show and the things that I see on the show. A lot of times that could, put people in their feelings, and that can cause a lot of discourse within our community. It's nothing that I am afraid of. It's nothing that I shy away from. This isn't the first time I've had, a rendezvous of this type of nature. But the only time you will really see me try to come together in this fashion is if I really genuinely care for the person or persons, hello God, that I have, fallen out with, so to speak. Okay. So the first portion of this conversation today, that is mediated by the grand Chloe Von Dutch herself, honey, is obviously we're going to be looking back at the start, the origin, hello God, of things, from my perspective as well as Robert's perspective, and we'll try our best to, color in. So I'm just going to start off, if that's fine, from my perspective, and then when hopefully Robert can hear me and
Yeah, he can.
anything.
He can hear you. He's actually right here.
Okay.
What's up? What's up?
Welcome, Robert Ray, to the show, honey. We appreciate you joining us.
What's up? What's up? Thank you.
Hello, guys. So one of the things that I want to get into is I'm going to just share, like, from my point of view of how I looked at everything, how I consumed everything, and even why I said a lot of things that I said. And then when I'm finished, if you will, just give your take on it and why you felt the way that you felt, and then hopefully we'll be able to find some kind of common ground. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Okay. And shout out to the people coming in. We appreciate you joining us. Make sure to hit that like button on the way in and engage in the conversation. Thank you. Oh, and just let y'all know, I didn't mean to leave this out. Harvianna should be joining us shortly. I know she's very, very busy, honey. Hello, God, representing the Atlanta streets, doing the things of those things, honey. So she should be joining us shortly, okay? So shout out to Harvianna. So before I get into everything from my perspective, I want to preface this by saying that every time I do a season of a show, my very first episode, because I know there's always going to be some newcomers that come along, they might not know how to really, interpret or navigate the reviewer streets. And I always start off by letting people know the way that I come at things, right? I'm not your average reviewer. I'm more of an in-depth person. Do I have shady moments? Yes, I do. No one likes a boring bitch. So we got to do what we can to keep the girls entertained. And sometimes, and unfortunately, it comes at cast members' expense. Okay. I'm not going to shy away from that truth, but it's a very real truth. It's just something that I have to work on, and most of us reviewers have to work on by not cutting so deep. Yes, I will say that. I'm going to try my best to do better. So, but what I do is I have no choice but to, the crux of my commentary is always going to be based on what I'm seeing and the interactions that is taking place amongst the cast members, right? So being real, as we've established from our very first interaction with each other, Robert, like I always want to come at things as a real person, 100% real, how I would operate amongst a lot of these social group situations. So, and I know you're a real nigga. So that's why it kind of took me out a little bit.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm sitting here looking like.
No, I know you're a real nigga. We've established that already. One of the things that took me out, though, and again, why I had to preface it by saying I only can judge the things that I see. There might be some other nuances, and I understand there are things that happen off camera. Certain things might be edited out. But as a reviewer, I'm not purview to that behind the scenes unless someone does an interview later on and the season's over with. No one's allowed to break the fourth wall. So I have to judge what I'm seeing. So me knowing you and having communications with you and interviews with you, it kind of disturbed me to see the way you were treating Dior and Kesey and Trey Howard during, I forget which season that was.
4.
That was season 4? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was difficult for me to watch how you were treating them because now, mind you, as a viewer, I'm like, damn, why? These are your family. This isn't just some new bitch that you just met off the street. This is your family, honey. These are people that you really hold near and dear to you. So to see you treat them, confront them, and talk to them the way that you were, I just felt like that was just out of bounds for the person I knew you to be.
Okay, can I speak on that?
Go ahead.
Okay, first, in regards to that, we had an interview. Let me go back and then I get to that point. We had an interview where I thought that it was genuine, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do many interviews with people, you know what I'm saying? But our interview I did with you, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like it was genuine. I felt like you understood me. I felt like we got somewhere with that. We built something, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like the start of me actually really doing any interviews with bloggers and things like that, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a moment that we created, you know what I'm saying? So for you to feel that way in regards to how I was moving with Dior and Trey and Kesey, now I felt like you got on the bandwagon with everybody else in reference to the picture that Trey was trying to point as me being aggressive. Now, do I feel like in moments it could be portrayed as aggressive? Looking back at it, yes, you know what I'm saying? But for the people that actually knew me and that know I'm more direct. And I told you that in our interview, you know what I'm saying? When we talked, I said people misconstrued me as being direct as aggressive, you know what I'm saying? I even said that to her when I said right. That. So when you was reviewing it, and I'm like, okay, so you didn't hear I told you what people do and they're doing it now, and you just fell right into that, you know what I'm saying? And those things in those moments, that was the first scene that first season that I actually got my genuine reaction, genuine feeling, genuine things that happened. It was a lot of stuff that was going on. To be honest with you, the things that happened on camera, I don't feel like was aggressive. It was the lives and stuff. Y'all was reviewing the things that happen on camera. Y'all were reviewing the lives like that. The lives are the places that I felt like I was more aggressive. The things that happened on the show was just in the moment things that I never put my hands on anyone. I've always respected them. You know what I'm saying? I was always the protector of the whole cast, the production, the everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been that. I've always been like respectful to everybody. So when I get upset or taken out of place, it's I'm aggressive or I'm going to harm them or something like that. And I thought that I still feel like I was going more so how I look on the outside, you know what I'm saying, versus um, how I
How you perceive,
on in the inner, because Trayton was doing the same things. They was yelling, they was cursing, they was being loud, they was getting up. They don't look like I look. It come across as, oh, you know, he's just being Trey, or he's just reading, or he's just doing this. When in the aspect, they was lying on me, creating different outcomes, trying to get me into it with people, creating like, you know what I'm saying, and all of this. On the outside, I'm going through real life stuff, you know what I'm saying, that I'm also putting out there to you guys. I'm showing y'all me and my brother.
And this is the first season that you were actually like
vulnerable. You know, I cried on TV about my daughter, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm showing y'all all of me, what y'all asked me, and then y'all down me for being aggressive. When you did an interview, and I told you this personally, I said what gets me the most is people think I'm aggressive because I'm out of how I was brought up and things like that. But you even said you really genuine, you really a softy, you know what I'm saying? We joked about that, so I felt like you understood me. So for you to get on that bandwagon of me being aggressive and all that, it kind of hurt me. And that's where like I think our riffraff. Because people that didn't really know me or didn't interview me or didn't get the experience that I expected, but for somebody that actually interviewed me and I felt was genuine with me, it kind of fucked with me. So that's where I, you know what I'm saying, started to feel a way about you in that aspect. And when it comes to Dior and them in that situation, yes, I'm passionate. Anything that I'm passionate about is going to come across as aggressive because and exactly. So it was like, and there was a lot of stuff that y'all didn't get to see, which I learned now, and I get that y'all are only looking at the aspect of what y'all get to see. But even with the stuff that you got to see, YB, I felt like, come on now, really, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, I definitely respect where you're coming from, but I want to say this, and this is not to say that you're not a real person, that you're not a direct person. It was because of that interview I even fell more in love with who you are as a person, and why I was more disappointed, because in the very real world, my thing is, I'm quite sure issues or however you felt about these people were prior to filming. If they weren't, forgive me, but I'm just looking at this from the outside looking in, right? If I have the type of relationship that you have with Dior or Kesey or Trey Howard on a more personal level, from a viewer standpoint, why would I be coming at them the way that I'm coming at them while we're filming a show? Why can't I have these feelings and these conversations towards these people that are my family outside of the show? Because as a viewer, though, you got to think about it. Damn, someone might actually bring that up. Because, like, if this is, like, again, these aren't just some bitches you met. If that was the case, I would understand that. But these are people who you actually have a high regard and love for, and, again, consider family. So for me as a viewer, and me being a real-ass nigga, I'm thinking in my head, like, damn, you could have had these conversations about how you felt outside of the show instead of bringing it to the show.
I feel like I understand what you're saying, but I feel like y'all have to understand that at that point, y'all are asking us to be real, and y'all are wanting us to give. Even when it comes to us doing a show, y'all are wanting us to give y'all authentic TV, not like scripted TV. So like, why would we shield y'all from getting to know how our natural response is to somebody, rather than, you know, just have something behind closed doors? Because then when we have those behind closed door conversations, and then things don't correlate on TV, it kind of makes it look scripted or planned out. If that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and what? Okay, and in your aspect in that, please understand, YB, that anything that
hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. The president, people in the comments, what we're not going to do is be disrespectful as fuck.
What?
Okay? I don't like disrespect. When I'm having conversations like this, trying to bring the motherfuckers together, we're not going to start with negative energy. The president.
Okay.
Don't act like our actual president. He's a nincompoop and a fool. Please don't get in here starting foolishness. Thank you.
Yeah, YB, please, moving. moving forward in this, the comments don't bother. I respect that and I appreciate that for you keeping that respectful platform. But I'm so at peace that the comments don't bother me at all. Those are people that don't know me. This is more so for us and whoever received this, you know what I'm saying? So don't let that, that's how we get distracted, you know what I'm saying? It's comments and things like that and people that just wake up to be negative. You know what I'm saying? This is not a negative moment. We're not gonna let those things distract us from the real genuine moment and the bigger picture in this moment. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
love that.
So I would do. I appreciate that though, but don't worry about the comments. They're going to get no matter what we say. They're going to get. They're going to have their feelings and their outlooks on that, regardless. You know what I'm saying? But to speak on what you say in reference to me addressing them, I address everything off camera. My daughter will tell you, I will come to them first and address them off camera. So most of the times when it's brought up on camera, you're getting my reaction because I'm like, bitch, we just talk, like you really like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're getting that. And then a lot of times I don't like being lied on. Like come at me real. Like come at me real. Don't come at me with nothing that you're lying about. That's when you're gonna people that know me knew how to get a reaction from me. I do feel like a lot. Yes, I do understand. Let me listen to me. And this is me being honest to God. I completely understand how y'all can see that it was aggressive or how that y'all can feel that it was aggressive because yes, I'm passionate about it. Yes, I do mean what I said when I will, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm used to. I'm used to violence. I'm used to things like that. So when I say those things or y'all will say a threat and I would more so it's not a threat. It's just me telling you like people that know like, hey, this is what it could be or this is what it is, not taken away from the fact that other people look at it as threats and things like that. I'm just genuinely being me, like, hey, you're taking me there. It's more so like a warning, more so than a threat. Like I don't. These are people that I genuinely love, that have seen me grow, that seen my life, that has seen me do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, come on now, like you know what I'm saying? Like you're taking me there. You know what I'm saying? So that's more so where that came from. You know what I'm saying? It's just me being real. YB. I don't like it's just certain stuff I don't play about. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's right for me to put my hands on people or to do anything, but that's how I react, well, how I used to react to things. You know what I'm saying? I don't exactly. I never put my hands on nobody. But and in that time that y'all was seeing that they was going, I'm more so warning them like you know what I would do versus like you know what I'm saying.
It was not
doing
what I would actually
like
give,
right.
like,
You know what I'm saying. So it would what y'all thought was aggressive
passes.
was
Really
not. Yeah. Like and I'm not saying that I'm right by that. YB. I've come from I was raised as this understanding my upbringing and I'm a street nigga. I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, come on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't operate like this. Yeah, most people read, most people talk, most people do this, but y'all can't be mad at me for my reaction to how what y'all put out there. Y'all are spreading lies about me. Y'all are putting me in mess that I don't have to be in. Y'all call it this being TV or good for TV. Well, this is my side of TV, and y'all have to respect that. Just like I respect y'all putting me in ideas in different things and modes and scenes. Y'all have to respect my outcome, but not once did I put my hands on any of them because I respected them more than that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I felt like people didn't see.
No, I understand. And I'm glad that you can see it from a perspective of a viewer. Like that was one of the main catalysts for why I was in my world. I was like, damn, I'm a little bit disappointed because of the approach. And I'm like, wow, like should this have even been a situation for filming? So I just felt like in that space, in that regard, that's what kind of like made me kind of go there with you a little bit because I was like, hold on now. I know how, and I always, again, as a reviewer and as a real person, I put myself in these situations. I'm like, so if I really do know these people, would I be navigating or even approaching them about certain things in the way that you did? Now, I do understand.
I want to speak on something real quick before we get to off this topic. So I do want to say that, like, even when I know that, like, probably when I came into the fold, but would have been your fourth season, well, after your third season. Mm-hmm. So you were kind of more well equipped to navigate this space. And so, like, you warned me not to use the comments and things like that. You told me a lot of things prior to me filming. Mm-hmm. And even when we filmed the scenes that we did film, but the one in particular was the one at the party. You did come to me before addressing me or saying what the whole boss situation.
Oh yeah.
You did bring it up to me. It was like, hey, this is being said. Are you? And I was like, okay. I mean, like, bitch. Like, I mean, if it's being said, well, then we're gonna talk about it. Right. You know, he gave me that respect, and so a lot of people were like, why would he say that to her? Why would he? Why didn't he? But it was like he did. My reaction to it was like I was really gagging because I wasn't expecting this to happen right then, and I really wasn't. I really wasn't expecting to happen in front of everybody, but I mean, he did give me the grace to like kind of talk me through it and kind of let me know what was going to happen prior to it happening, so I didn't get like blindsided. Because if I would have heard it blindsidedly, I probably would have hit mother upside the motherfucking face. No shade. I had time to mentally prepare myself before we shot the scene. To like, okay, girl, they can try it.
And I'm glad you said that, daughter, because YB, that's what I always do with even scenes with me and Dior. Before me and Dior had that sit down, me and Dior, I was like, hey, this is what they want, you know what I'm saying? I respect you differently, you know what I'm saying, and this and that and this and that. And we not saying that we have some stuff that we need to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like we have stuff that we need to address, you know what I'm saying? But we I'm gonna always be the one that be like, I don't want this TV stuff or anything like that to make us be different than what we are outside of the TV stuff. I always said, if y'all always notice, I always like, I don't like the TV you, but the real you I can respect. Or I don't like the even with Trey, like, you know what I'm saying? It was different stuff like that, because outside of the TV world, I can respect you, you know what I'm saying? But it's that TV world that I can't respect the lies. Why be you just making up lies for me to get into it with somebody? Or you just making up different stuff or moving shady because you just want a good scene, or that's what I had to adapt to, you know what I'm saying? I do understand that it's reality TV world, you know what I'm saying? And I get that, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, people have to respect everybody in every realm of how they react to different things. Everybody, y'all want to paint the picture in reference to getting the mess and all of that and create that story, but y'all don't want to deal with the story that comes from the reactions of creating that story. Y'all, it's okay to do this, but it's not okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's in the world of the web bloggers. It's like y'all praise for somebody that don't look as masculine as me can do the exact same thing with their malicious thoughts, malicious ways, conniving reads, hurtful things they say, lies they tell. They can do those same things, but I say this to get you beat up, and now I'm the villain. You get what I'm saying?
Well, for me, I can't speak for everybody else in the world, but I know for me, it mostly, when you look at a Trey Howard, you look, Dior's a little more soft-spoken, and Kesey's very quiet and hush mouth. So for me, in the world that I come from, again, taking from my own experiences and adding it to how I do review shows and how I perceive certain dynamics amongst the cast, I just deduced in my own world. And it wasn't riding on a train or following the trend. It was like, damn, like, even for myself, when I get in heated discussions, naturally the more masculine presence takes over, because I'm trying to shut that shit the fuck down. So I can overpower you with like my real nigga shit, like that's my point, to shut you down. So when I was watching you approach them a certain way, I was like, come on, you know, a Trey Howard doesn't need all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't serve that kind of energy on that level. Neither does a Dior or even a Kesey, you know, for that matter. So that's why I took it and perceived it in that way, like you just utilizing your masculine presence to overpower the femme girls.
Yeah, see, that's just y'all way of thinking. You know, I'll do that with a masculine guy. I do that with a whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I process it, like I don't care who it is, y'all. And I've always said this.
Girl, that's zesty, girl.
I don't care who. I don't care how many. I don't care. It's not a masculine thing. It's just me. Like, nigga, don't come at me like that. And I'm not saying I'm bad. I'm not saying I'm the whoop you. I'm not saying but I'm gonna demand my respect. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what that is. You know
he asked me, he was like, do I need to handle that? And I was like, no. I said, it's cool. I got it.
Like real cool. Talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always protect the women. I'm gonna always respect the women. I'm gonna always look out for them. I'm gonna always look out for the other cast members on the show. There's not a cast member that has not been on this platform with me that can say that I don't look out for them, or that they don't feel protected by me or around me. That's what was confusing me so much with that, because I'm like, bitch, y'all not speaking up for me when y'all know in this, if we, right after we got into it, we would have left outside of this restaurant and anything went down, I'm the first person that's going to protect y'all with, no matter, I would lay my life for y'all type shit.
Now that's one thing even in our midst of being in disagreements with one another, I've always praised you. You actually should have been the original designer for the Protect the Dolls jacket for Mariah Carey, because you have always given that energy, and especially like when Ariel was introduced and seeing that connection and seeing how you do go to bat for the girls. And I've always appreciated that about you. So I don't want you to ever say,
let me say this. Let me address this, babe. This is the only address, because I seen most of these comments were saying speaking of in reference to how I consider is violence, I always resort to violence. Y'all have not seen me be violent one time.
I've
Not
seen it
one
several
time.
times, but
You
not on the
have,
show.
you
But
know
not
what
on
I'm
the
saying?
show.
But I'm saying they're talking about what they see. They talk about what they see.
You're
Y'all
not
have
on the
not
show.
seen me be violent or hit or fight or anybody. Not one time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are resulting to what I say to people, what I have said to people. Yes, I have come up
So that
from a
means Judge Jeff
violent
is violent.
nature. You know what
That
I'm
means Judge
saying?
Jeff is violent.
Like
'cause
people, that's you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But because of my point proven, my nature is the problem. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this: to y'all have not seen me be violent, not one time. Y'all have seen me say things. Y'all have seen me, you know what I'm saying, yell my voice, raise my voice, and things like that. But y'all have not seen me be violent, not one time on this platform. You know what I'm saying? Y'all haven't seen me hit nobody with nothing, throw nothing at nobody,
And I'm
raise up a
surprised.
chair at nobody. Like, y'all have seen so many different things that people have done on this platform that are violent acts. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have not seen me be violent, but y'all want to continue to put that on me. Yes, I was raised around violence. I was raised with my family and stuff. We fought each other, cousins fought. We did that. That's what we used to. You know what I'm saying? Now, me personally, I have outgrown that, which is why y'all haven't seen me be violent. But it's not on me to get y'all to understand my growth. You know what I'm saying? I know my growth. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, letting y'all in on that part of me to let y'all know that, hey, it can get there. The people that knew me, Dior, Trey, Kesey, the show, the production, all of them know that they can get there because they've actually seen it. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't been violent in so long. Y'all, I'm connected to the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've said this over and over again. Y'all seen me talk about my brother's story. Y'all seen me talk about my family, my upbringing. I put it out there. It's on y'all to receive it. You know what I'm saying? It's not on me to put it in y'all head. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to say that y'all have yet to see me be violent. Not
I
one.
think I've always straddled the fence with that because on one hand, I always understood where you came from with that perspective because I'm a hood ass bitch too. So certain things people may not understand depending on what type of environment you were raised in and what those laws of the land kind of look like and how that shows up. But I do think what some of the chats kind of like gearing towards is like, it's not actually like the violence part of it, but the threat of violence taking place.
Yeah.
And I think that even for myself, like, again, I straddle the fence with that because I agree, but then I disagree. The part I agree with is, like I stated earlier, the point of my argument is to shut you the fuck down by any means necessary.
Mhm.
So if I have to hit the jugular or say that I'm going to call the Femme Nikita to touch your spirit, bitch, and when you get back to the crib, okay, I'm going to say those things. But I think, too, like some people, you know, we're a little bit older than the rest of these girls are. So I think a lot of the times people look like, okay, can we be a little bit more mature in how we vocalize our disdain for certain motherfuckers?
Maybe if you were in this mindset back then, it wouldn't have been so. But you're a little bit more.
Yeah,
more,
I'm at peace now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the things that is not, it didn't affect me like that.
Yeah,
And
because
that's
like
what
you're
I
not
say.
even paying
Like,
attention
you
to
know
the
what I'm
comments.
saying?
You don't. You're,
Oh
like,
yeah,
all
you know,
that
I
stuff,
don't.
so-
That's not. And I get what you're coming from in that. But what I'm saying, and not saying that. Let me say this. When I say that y'all haven't seen me be violent, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time that y'all was talking about things that me physically putting my hands on people, threatening to fight or something like that. What I'm saying is y'all haven't seen me do that. You know what I'm saying? But y'all have seen Telly threaten George. Y'all didn't give him the backslash. Y'all gave me the violent badge and all of this type of stuff. Y'all have seen. I ain't gonna go down the list because I can go down the list of people on this Chasing Reality platform that have did these things that have not gotten what I got in this web world. You know what I'm saying?
If they have displayed, from me personally, if anyone on this platform has ever displayed foolishness, they've been read by me at some point or another.
I give her that though. I did give her that.
But and you can speak only for yourself. I said
Right.
We have web reality world. The comments, the people, the all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm speaking.
So my question is, when did it take a time for the both of y'all? Because I know it was like names were mentioned or names were changed or called differently.
Okay,
like,
can I let me step in here real quick. So for me was you did a live on Instagram, right? And you were voicing your disdain for my commentary on the show. I'm okay with people clapping back and defending your honor. Please do. If someone is saying something about you or in a way that is unbecoming of who you are as a person, you have all the right in the world to defend your character. What really took me out about that live the most was when you were trying to be Captain Save These Hoes in regards to in regards to Chef Messy,
I was.
JC, because I was reading them in one of my reviews. Because again, as a viewer and as a very real person, take my perspective. Just listen to my perspective. So I think you were going in on a specific thing because the way you were defending these particular individuals, I think it was based on one of the reviews where I kind of went in on them. When you guys had the father scene, when you guys were discussing your kids and everything, from what we've gathered and from what I've seen as a viewer from Chef Messy and JC, these guys were too busy worried about everything else other than actually being a parent. As a viewer, that's how I looked at it based on their shenanigans on the show. Chef Messy was leading with everything else other than, he kept saying, my daughter, my kid, but girl, you're sucking dick in bathrooms and you're stirring a mess and you're doing OnlyFans or Twitter and you got all this, you're doing a free platform, but you worried about your child. And then you have JC who's doing all this buffoonery. And you over here talking about you're the only person, because I've watched your journey. I've had conversations with you in that interview. I've watched your growth in your fatherhood and how you are as a dad. I wasn't coming for you in that manner. I'm coming for those bitches in that manner. So what took me out was when you were coming in trying to save these hoes. And I'm just like, child, no, fight your battles. Don't fight these bitches' battles because they're getting it for a good reason.
Okay, I can receive that. And let me lead by saying I do apologize for coming at you in regards to their battles. You know what I'm saying? And I can in that moment, I felt like you was incorporating it because that was a genuine moment for us. Because it's not many moments where I get to have that moment with other fathers on the platform. You know what I'm saying? So I get as a viewer what you saw, but I saw a little deeper story. So in that moment, it was just more so I knew the conversations that I had with them in reference to how they felt about the interviews and stuff personally. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like me being that in that moment, but it doesn't make it right. And that's why I want to apologize. I don't want to be, because you're absolutely right in that aspect. I was being Captain Save-A-Ho in that aspect. I should have just spoke on how you made me feel and not entwine their feelings with that. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to apologize on that aspect. And to speak on that video, I don't address bloggers and stuff like that. And, you know, I never really go there. So if I made a video or a live, you know that it actually hurt personally, you know what I'm saying? Because it was I clapped back in the comments, and then there was another blogger that was doing a lot, and I posted his address in the comments to let him know that he could be reached, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So but that's the only two different times that it got deep for me, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't really let it get to me. And I say it got deep to me, YB, because I heard people talk about me. I knew all of that, you know what I'm saying? It don't bother me, you know what I'm saying? But I had some people that I actually respected in the web reality world, like Scotty, TTB, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are people that I actually respect, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, outside of what y'all do here, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I thought we was here, you know what I'm saying? So not saying you can't blog or talk about me or, you know, do your reviews about me. I'm never saying that, you know what I'm saying? But I expected you to understand different things more so than other people understood about me, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that you just know me like that, you know what I'm saying? But it was just more so I thought we got somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Even what we talked in on the back end after our interview and stuff that people didn't see, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a moment, and I felt like we understood each other on a deeper level, you know what I'm saying? So when you was going in and all that, you're funny. I even told you I said some of the shit was funny, you know what I'm saying? Like, I laugh. I like to laugh. I like to get a good time, like hear like funny shit that's funny. But it was just more so I was like, damn, YB, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I expected it from other bloggers, but I just didn't expect it from you, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was.
I think for me, like, the reason I kind of stepped on it a little bit more is because I know I probably have to do a better job at, like, before going in, citing what my true intentions are. Because through even the shadiest moments that I have in my commentary, I always try to have, like, a nook of wisdom implanted in it. And for me, why I kept on you a little bit longer was, I'm like, you're not, in my opinion, you weren't trying to see what I was really trying to say was, as a viewer, this, because I kept reiterating that, especially in the beginning, like, I don't like people saying, oh, I'm turning on people. It's like, no, I want people to see what it is I'm seeing as a viewer. And I just didn't feel like in that moment you were trying to really look at it from the outside looking in, like removing yourself from the situation and saying, you know what, maybe I did. Now we've come to that point, that realization. We grow, we go through, we look back in retrospect, and we see the things that we, might have made a mistake on or not really pointed out to ourselves, so that we can correct it and move accordingly through the future. But like in that moment, I was like, damn, like he's not seeing what it is that I'm actually trying to say in regards to how things are appearing on the show.
That's fair. That's fair. And like I said, and what I also had to understand too is that what you see is not what I see. You know what I'm saying? Because and even with what other people see, because a lot, it's just your review. But what makes it an issue is when you got 10 people reviewing a show, and not just the well reviewer. I'm talking about in general, people outside of it, comments, everywhere else. And they're seeing it this way. And then you got this one reviewer seeing it this way. And it makes it be like, oh, this reviewer is trying it, bitch, because how are you seeing it this way? And all these other people and reviewers and things like that are seeing it a different way. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so it's confusing, you know what I'm saying? And then when the person that's seeing it a different way is somebody that you thought you respected on a different level, it makes it different, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not justifying anything that my actions that I did, and that's why I say I take a full. I wasn't in the headspace that I was in there, so I wasn't able to receive it like that. I wasn't able to see a different picture or another side of it, you know what I'm saying? But I do respect what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? And I respect your reviews. I respect what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, on your platform, on any platform. That's your platform. So I'm not here to come and try to dictate what you do on your platform, you know what I'm saying? But you, as a web reality reviewer, and the comments and everything, y'all have to understand that our actions are our actions. It's not on y'all to justify if we want to choose violence, if we want to yell, if we want to read, if we want to cry, if we want to these things. Y'all don't understand that we're living in a sensitive world right now, you know what I'm saying? So these things are very triggering, and y'all don't understand people upbringing. Y'all only reviewing a small segment of what they allow y'all to see. Y'all don't understand that these moments could trigger someone to suicidal thoughts, or to go harm somebody else, or trigger, it's just so many things that can be triggered. True enough, we have to understand on our aspect that we're putting ourselves out there, you know what I'm saying, for those type of things. But some people don't, or it's new to them. It's not like, they don't think of it on that level. They have to grow into that, like I did, you know what I'm saying?
I have a question for the both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, who do you think is more influential, the stars who create the moments, or the reviewers who shape the conversations surrounding the moments?
More
influential, like who do y'all feel like has the bigger impact? This is the person
I would say the web reality viewers and the stories in reference to that, because we can show so much. Even what we show, the production and stuff, like like, you know what I'm saying, like
everything,
like even bigger. we can implement something, give production, you know what I'm saying, a film, and a lot of times we don't know. We see the show like they see it. We don't know how it's like, you know what I'm saying, like when so we can't really pinpoint the stories and the things like that. When
like I knew nothing about Rio. I knew nothing about Rio throughout the whole season.
See, we see other things that we don't see, and so they can keep that story and create that story, you know what I'm saying, in reference to each week, you know what I'm saying, creating that narrative, the narratives that they want to bring. That's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying. But what do you feel?
I think it just really depends. You have some reviewers, like myself, of course, that actually have a different way of thinking. I'm not just going to go for what I see on the surface. I'm going to go for what I feel the energy is and what the intention is. And again, taking personal experience. Reviewers do have a certain level of influence to curate and to keep conversations going. That is true. But I think if it's a cast member or cast members that handle themselves accordingly, they have way more power, because you got to think about it. You're the reason for our conversation to begin with. So
how do you feel though? Because y'all gonna find something. Even the ones that handle themselves accordingly, y'all find something. Y'all close y'all platforms off of mess and
Let me tell you.
Positive things don't get clicks. It's the drama and the mess and all of that type of stuff that gets the clicks. So if we're gonna be real, YB, let's be real.
When I think of someone in particular for this past season, I'll think of Donnie, right? So in the beginning, he got, I can't speak for nobody else, but for me, I lit him up, child. Like, he was in a firing squad. But because of his ability to walk this journey while filming, not after filming, while filming his season, and see that transition, that growth. So we got to see ghetto crazy cunt in the beginning, but as we flow through his journey, we see that transition and we see the maturity, we see the reflection. He created his own narrative. It wasn't us that did that for him. It was him who did it for himself. Go ahead.
But when that man went on an apologizing journey and was positive and trying to, y'all drug him for that.
Ooh, I gave him his things.
You're taking it personal. I'm saying we're talking web reality
as a whole,
reviewers, comments as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
I think the only thing we all agreed on was the nature of the cowering after the apology. That was the thing that most of us, because in the real world, you a real nigga. Let's tell the truth. Your apology is just your apology. Correct. You ain't gonna be telling a bitch, girl, you hit me with them damn bricks. I had no choice but to flee and run away for the hills. You're not gonna be doing all of that extra shit. You're gonna be like, all right, apology, and that's just what it is.
No, y'all was mad at that man for his apology tour.
Y'all was dragging him.
No, I'm cool.
That he was really going around apologizing to these people.
But it was really like a lot of people, including myself, was like, I'm not here for the extra, like, cowering down. Like, even, I think that's why Chloe and them was...
Men in the situation.
I didn't really feel like that was his way, though. I really didn't feel
as a viewer...
I didn't feel like he honestly would have went on a tour and apologized to people if he wasn't asked to do it. I feel like he was kind of coercive to do it.
I don't know that as a viewer.
No, you're right. You're right.
I just know that he went on an apology tour,
I think
and the people drug him.
The tour, though.
Yeah, they called. What do you mean? I don't watch it. Y'all brought this.
They was talking about me when I said
vocabulary.
They was talking about me when I said all the words were like Beyonce. So I mean.
No, I think too, and just to talk about this real, I think when I was talking to Mother after the third final reunion, she said that you and Chloe had, Mother and Chloe had an issue because that's why Donnie was going off, because like he was doing too much cowering even in that moment. So
we had talked to him prior to us going to the reunion. We all had a conversation, the big three, what was supposed to be the big three. And we were just like, we was going to have each other's back. Although me and Mother knew that we were going to have some dialogue about what was said or what happened. You know what I'm saying? We was going to have each other's back as much as possible when it came to everything else or anybody else being on the field. And our biggest critique to Donnie was like, do not go into this reunion and cower down. Do not go into this reunion and piss no ass. Because at the end of the day, you said what you said. What happened, and it's no reason for you to kind of kiss the ring, because bitch, they ain't got no ring for you to kiss. Is what we saw it as. But when we got into that reunion, it was, I'm giving them all these flowers. He's giving all these people these flowers, and I'm just like, bitch, like, can you hear yourself right now? You look crazy. Like, and we kept telling. I was like, okay, now you're doing too much. And he's like, okay. And then when Mother said it, he was like, he went off, and I was just like, I said, who are you talking to? Because bitch, I know you're not talking to me. He was like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Mother. I was like, okay. So I don't know if it was because it was both of us coming on to him, telling him, you're doing too much. You're kissing too much ass, girl. Dial it back, because girl, he did good. He did good when it came to Judge Jeff. When it was him and Judge Jeff, the first little segment, I felt like he held his own. He stood his ground. He stood on what he said and kept it pushing. But when it got to them, it just was pissing me off that you're sitting here like basically kissing the ring to them and basically like, yeah, you hit me with them bricks. I apologize and I'm sorry. I just didn't feel that.
Okay. That's fair. But y'all still can't.
I can't dictate how somebody moves.
That's true.
No, I feel what you're saying, but it's just like, because we know they're not going to be friends, especially like as a viewer. I was reading Rio and Zesty's energy, and I was just like, well, I think Zesty came off a little more genuine, but it was still popping that shit instead of damn, this man's trying.
You feel like Zesty came off more genuine than Rio?
In my opinion, because the way Rio came off, it was very fakeiana, especially in his confessional after the fact. Like,
okay, maybe so, maybe
I can
so.
agree.
I can agree.
I
I'm
can
thinking
agree.
about it. I'm thinking about it
you
because
know, they were both pretty shady in the way that they ended the conversation. I was just like, see, you try to be nice and be vulnerable to these, give your apology, and that's
he
it.
showed up in a bulletproof vest. I forgot. Mrs. Rio just showed up in a bulletproof vest. Trying
But
to
yeah,
determine it. Okay.
we can go on from there.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I got one more question for y'all. Okay, so this is just to kind of like, okay, so my question is, if you could trade places for a day, Robert as a reviewer and YB as a reality star, what would that look like for y'all? It's like if you were to switch spots, like how would if you was a web reviewer, you was to do her job, but she was to do your job, what would that look like? What would that look like for y'all? Do you feel like you can handle the other side of the motherfucking the table? Is really the question.
Yeah,
Sorry about it.
I was gonna say I did it, but I focused on some other stuff
Okay.
that but in all honesty, I have a respect for web reviewers just because I actually try, and for people that keeps it going and solo
It's
and
hard.
all of that, it's a lot that you do and that you have to do and that you have to put into, and a lot of time and a lot of things on the back end, a lot of things you have to learn, navigate. So I do have a respect for web reviewers when I look at you guys, you know what I'm saying, and see your platforms that are thriving and doing good, you know what I'm saying. The only thing that I didn't respect about web reviewers, because even with me, if I was to do it and anybody that knew me, I was always wanting to do the positive, bring up the positive, or we could talk about the mess, but let's talk about the positive. And I'm not making up lies and just to get for
You're not
clicks
TTBing
and
it
stuff
out.
like that. You know,
Because
that's
TTB
not
does that.
has nothing to do with me, daughter.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to bring the positive things in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that I don't respect about web reviewers. You know what I'm saying? But I do know negativity sells. I do know all of that. You know, clicks and likes and stuff, and I'm learning that. But to understand the whole dynamic of what they do and things like that, I have a respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it does take a lot to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my outtake on it. If I was
I like that.
yeah.
So why be on the other end of that? How do you feel? Like, do you feel like you could be on the other end of the camera and be on in our shoes and kind of sit in it?
I think I could, though. I think I'd be one of few that actually would do a pretty decent job. Again, I would take what I know as a reviewer in a lot of ways and do it accordingly. Now, I give props because that's a lot of eyes, there's a lot of opinions, even just people that comment. So I'm not saying it'd be a challenge for me, but that would motivate me to even try my best to be.
I said I could tell whenever somebody has been in reality TV before and then they transition over to being a reviewer, and in the way that they review things, like people like he's on the chasing panel. What's his name? He commented on the post and said he was gonna watch it. I can't think of his name now.
Oh, T.
No, not T. The other one. He was in the reality.
Carl,
yes. So people like Carl, you can kind of tell by the way that they review, the style that they review, that they kind of hit it from a different angle, like they've been there before, as to somebody who has not been on the other side of the screen or on the other side of the camera, and they haven't really got the heat yet. So I can always tell like a difference between people, like the style of reviewing.
Okay.
To me.
Okay, I can see
people
that.
like El Teddy's never been on the show, so
yeah, I can see that.
The reviews are a little nasty.
Everybody has their own way of reviewing. You might have some people that have the same kind of approach or thought process when it comes to certain situations as the season progresses, but for the most part, I think that at least for the people that I watch, it's very different, which makes it entertaining, and it gives you a variety of different perspectives. In my opinion, if I watch people and they're the same as everybody else, I'm not really trying to be bothered with that at all. But to sum it up, I think I'd be a pretty good cast member. Now, I don't know. I'm pretty shy in real life, so I don't know. Maybe.
What franchise would you go to? What city? If you were to pick a city, which one would you pick?
I'm in Florida, baby, so I'd have to do Chasing Orlando.
Oh, you think you could rumble with the girls in Orlando? They finna come up.
Child, I don't know some cunts now, honey.
Oh, look, if you get on the platform, I'm bringing up my reviewer.
Oh, you
just
gonna pull up the
because
reviews?
I'm pulling every week. I'm gonna be there faithfully
That'd be
reviewing
fun.
right
That'd be
now.
fun.
To get me together, honey. Hey,
Nah.
and that's the thing, though. I would definitely be open to it because I know, and again, that's probably why it would be different. Because coming from this space, if I were to transition to that space, I have no choice but to accept that people are going to say what they're going to say. But now, by all means, the same way I feel about y'all, you have the right to rebuttal. And
Absolutely.
Whatever that looks like, you feel free.
That's
Feel free.
That's respected.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's okay, I got one more question.
Okay.
Okay, so my next question is
Jed, my little sister. I didn't
Jed
see
here?
her. Yeah. Shout out to Jed. Hey, baby.
my question's froze. One second, y'all.
Okay.
The conversation is starting to get good now. Okay. So who's one person in the web reality space for you that you would never work with again and why? And who's one person that you would never review again and why?
What?
I'll let you go first.
On that one?
Like, who's somebody that you'd be
That's
like,
a good
okay, I really could care less about reviewing their show or reviewing them. Maybe they gave you a lot of flack. Maybe they gave you too much, or that was a hard review. Who was one of the hardest people to review? I ask you that. Born in England. I'm pretty sure it's for you, like,
I'm not gonna lie, and I hate to turn back the hands of time because I'm kind of over this situation. Another beef I was involved in was when I had brought to life the Real Hot Boys of Houston. That was difficult because there was no finished product. Things were a little bit, I don't have time for, again, no shade. If you're in the building, Todd, I apologize, but question, so I'm going to answer it. There was no organization. There was no real.
Oh, this is like the actual production of the show you're talking about.
Yeah. There was nothing that what I'm used to, and that was actually one of the reasons why I just strictly started doing Chasing Reality and or G Status if they ever came back out because I really enjoyed them. But that was kind of difficult. I enjoyed it because I got to introduce something from the ground up, meeting people, that were already coming up, not already established. Some decent people were from there. There are some others that will never be named again, and their existence will be null and void until the end of fucking time and beyond. Hello, God. But
you had click, like it was like a click weird guy, like you just click. It's like a click.
Yeah, but reviewing something ever again, I don't really have a negative taste in my mouth about anything because I shield myself from that's how I'm able to do just one platform or two platforms. Okay. If G Status was consistent like Chasing, it would be Chasing and G Status. But for now, until I decide to finish, it'll just be Chasing Reality because they're the most consistent. Obviously, I've developed many years of relationships with certain people, and I really enjoy what Chasing brings.
You bring a lot of controversy, a lot of different things.
Yeah. So what about you? As far as working together with someone, again, I've never really worked with anybody in that space on that level. I don't have nothing negative to say about anybody particularly, to be honest with you.
Okay. Who would you not work with again in like web reality world? Like, it's absolute hell no, I would never film with this person.
To be honest with you, it used to be YB, but we changed. But we good now. But I don't see anybody that I have any issue. Like I don't have any issues with anybody to where I could just say I'd never work with them again. Even I joke
that was hard to film with, maybe.
That you said film.
Yeah,
but you talking about record? Like you talking about
filming?
Oh, you said who I would never work with in the reality. I thought you said vice versa. On the web did an interview with. Okay. In regards to that, it's a few people that I would have to get one. Yeah, I would have to get one. If I was to have to get one,
like I wish I'd never filmed a scene with this person today in my life.
A scene,
a hard person to
okay. I'm just gonna say I wish I would never do. Oh, girl, you're so messy. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna do two because it was even. It was equal.
Okay.
And I love them,
Outside
outside of the show, but I would never be on a season with them ever in life
And then you
again.
get
I
that.
hated it tremendously. Like it was the worst experience ever. Messed up my whole season 5 experience, and everybody know this. But JC and Seven, I would never in life like to film with them again on a chasing platform. I feel like I love them both. Individual. They got a lot of work ethics and things like that. But when it comes to filming and just them and just everything they brought, it was horrible for production, horrible with cast, horrible with like it just wasn't a good experience that took away from the season. The season could have been a whole lot better if they wouldn't have been so
producing.
Yeah, like it was just a lie. Like it was just a lie, and I would never, if I seen their name or even mention them auditioning,
you was like, no.
Even if I knew they was auditioned, I wouldn't even want to.
Oh, damn.
Like I wouldn't. It's just not it. Love them dearly, but they equal.
I'll even answer the question. So if I was to pick, I'm gonna pick two people. If I was to pick two people out of my season that I would not have filmed with or never filmed with another day in my life, I would have to say it would be Kelly and Lamont.
Okay.
Let's say Kelly and Lamont.
Okay.
I feel like they what they gave at the reunion was so trash. It just was not what they gave, and I didn't respect it at all. And then to know that they was low-key messing around after everything was all said and done, and you was just at everybody because you was messing with him, girl. It's the key to me. So yeah,
don't get me started, please. Don't get me started. Please don't get me started, child. Because I feel like I'm going to be reading them till the end of time.
Oh my! Well, I don't want to be a part of any platform that's reading him or anything. So let's.
I don't want
to. I don't want to pour y'all on positivity. All love here.
You know what kills me about you though? Let me tell you though, that laugh alone lets me know that you like the shits too though. Yeah. You like to see I know. You like the shits, you just don't like to publicly be with the shit.
Cause watch, he gonna be in my next time talking about the order. That was a good question.
Cause I swear, if this was
a great question. I love that question. It was a great question. It was a messy question, but it was a great question. So I'm with it. I told you I'm here for you today. Okay. I told you whatever. You got me.
So my next question is for both y'all as well. It says, has social media blurred the lines between entertainment critiques and personal attacks? So do y'all feel like social media has made it easier to attack people?
Yes.
Or things like that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah? I feel like social media is a platform or a space that you can hide from and be whoever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So if you can attack people, you can love on people, you can be whatever that different person that people don't have to see. You know what I'm saying? So social media has opened that platform for people to genuinely be whatever they want to be. You know what I'm saying? They got AI and shit now where you can have a whole relationship and have a whole life and like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different world. So yes, it's definitely opened up personal attacks on people. I think right now we're living in a hurtful world, a sensitive world. Like a lot of people are going through things and times are hard and things like that. So that's a escape mechanism for people to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Turn
other people down to make their
people
fake pages or the faceless pages. I can't stand the faceless pages. I hate the faceless bloggers. I really have a problem with that. I really feel like they're so cowardly because if you were to sit here and judge me and talk about me and then read me like a dog, I feel like you should give us the same respect and show your face and let us judge you as well.
Yeah,
I do. I hate faceless reviewers. I really do. Like even the big ones. What are the big ones? Like not the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is a fucking radio station, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That you just don't know who these people are. And they do the fucking
the hide behind their logos.
Yeah, the hide behind the logos. I hate that.
I get it.
I want to know who you are.
Yeah. What's your aspect on it, Wabi?
I have a pretty long-winded answer. I'll try to shorten it out. So, although I truly believe that social media has definitely made it too accessible for certain people, we have to take into account that the most of the trolling and the negativity and the toxicity comes from a 45-year-old man, hello God, with the mind of a 13-year-old who's sitting in his grandmother's basement using all her Vaseline, child, has no life, no love, no social circle. They have no social skills. They've been sheltered. I'm not gonna let some basement masturbator dictate how I'm gonna feel about myself.
They're going crazy.
You know, I'm not gonna let that happen. But on the other hand, I think we as people, we have to look at the quality of our life. And I think I said this in my video yesterday that I did. Our quality of life will determine our outcomes, and most of all, how we feel about ourselves. So if the quality of life for most people, especially if you're growing up in the struggle, you got a lot of shit going on, trauma, things of that nature, you're already a broken individual. So having outside opinions and comments aimed at you, especially if they're drilling pretty hard, it can damage your mental psyche to the point where you're breakable. So I be trying to tell people sometimes, child, you once you're born into this shitty world that we live in, once you realize that there's more wolves out here than there is sheep to bring you comfort, hello God,
I agree.
you're gonna have to develop a thick skin.
YB speaking right now, you know what I'm talking about? I get the
Hello
name
God.
speaks because you're speaking right now.
Man. And that's the truth, though. I feel like
That's
we
the
have
truth.
to
That's some
really
real
develop
shit.
that thick skin, because this is the real hell, people. And if you walk through this life and like the kids at my job, they so damn, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. I'll be damned. I'm
We
gonna
live
be
in a
real with
sensitive
them.
world. Like, it's a sensitive world right
I'm
now.
glad that y'all say that. So my next thing is like, so do y'all think that there are boundaries, or that there should be boundaries between web reality stars and reviewers, or is crossing the line inevitable? Like, is that like something that's just like, it's
But
always gonna happen?
I'm gonna say this. That would be hard to do because
You're not obviously
it's
like
never
everything.
it's never gonna be like we're all have different opinions, we all have different reviews, we all have different experience, we all have different, you know what I'm saying, things that we want to say or do, you know what I'm saying. So to say that this is crossing the line, who's to say you're crossing the line,
It's
it's my
different.
crossing the line, or
That's
different
true.
from my crossing the line. So I think we just, as people, as human, need to put ourselves in those spaces and be like, hey, how will I feel in that aspect? You know what I'm saying? Like, would this bring, whether if it's a lot of pain or a lot of discomfort, if it brings any discomfort, I feel like, hey, let me not do that.
I
You
think
know
I
what I'm
got this from YB though, because in her first review of me, of course, it was the pushback wig. It was
saying?
the worst moment of my
Mhm.
reality, time. And I think that even though she gave me hell, it was her coming back and giving me grace afterwards. Like
Yeah.
the next her next review, I think it was,
Yeah.
and she was like, okay, hold on, maybe I judged this girl too soon. Maybe she
Yeah.
is a little bit more. She has a little bit more to her, and it was
Yeah.
that kind of touched me. And I was like, okay,
Okay.
this is not that bad. Like
Yeah.
it could be bad. It could be
I can
worse.
see
But
that.
bitch,
I can see that. So what got you with YB is the fact that yes, YB did give that review, but YB
Yeah.
took accountability and also made up for that in that
yeah,
aspect. So
most
you're saying
definitely,
that
it definitely
you
touched
can
me.
do that, but take accountability and own up for when you see that you messed up
You
or
might have
that
went
you
too
got it
far.
wrong or went
I
too
would
far.
even say that
That's fair.
YB, even then, I think soon after that, me and her were able to have a conversation, or I started messaging her, and I was like, really just expressing to her who I was as a person, and kind of letting her see who I was. And even when I was coming onto her panel on her platform, and we were just having minor conversations. I think she was able to understand, like, oh, bitch, there's a little bit more to this girl than what meets the eye, or what's surface level, or what I'm getting from the show. And I think that that's how we were able to kind of establish the relationship that we have.
That's fair. That's
What
fair.
you think, YB?
I think, well, I definitely want to shout you out though, Chloe. One of the reasons why you were a mainstay, in my opinion, was you kept the same contentment throughout. Your energy never really shifted. Like, you got some people that are here for the cameras, they want to do a little extra. You got some people that just want to be, seen and all that other shit. But you were organic and natural in how you came across, and that was consistent throughout your entirety of the season. You weren't pushing for cameras. The cameras were pushing for you. Hello, God. So
Unfortunately, bitch, they was chasing my hairline.
I can definitely appreciate that. I think too, you pointed out a good thing I was going to bring up anyway. How I come at things as a reviewer is, again, from a personal level. But again, I do have to be entertaining. And again, I'll reiterate this. It's unfortunate, but sometimes that entertainment can come at a cast member's expense. That is when those lines go to blurring, because now I have said things that go above just a regular entertaining read. Now I have ripped the girls to shreds based on how they look, or what their taste might be or lack thereof. Because, you know, like I really kind of have went there before with certain people. And again, I have to take moments and I have to say, you know what? I probably went a little too far in that aspect, because at the end of the day, being a good reviewer is bringing out the best, even if there are some worse, because let's tell the truth, there are things about balance. You're going to have your good, your bad, and your ugly. So if one moment you're giving me a little bit of, you know, toxicity that I have to call out, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. But at the next breath, if you give me something that I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Because again, as a viewer, when I see people come on the screen, I'm in my first inclination is like they want to be a star,
Right?
but it isn't until like episode 2, 3, 4. Oh, you don't want to be a star, you're a person.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and treat it accordingly. These are people, you know.
I think that you even what you called to me. It was a time where I might not have done something that you would have agreed with, or that you probably had. He was like, okay, well, that was so questionable or whatever. And even then, you still was like, you know, I might not agree with X, Y, Z or whatever, but you know, she still was like, you know, solid. That's the one thing that I can say about you, was that like it was like still like, okay, yeah, I don't agree with how she came about the situation. Like, I don't agree with her talking about her being an escort. I think that might have been what it was, or me being.
No, I had no problem with that, honey, because I feel like if navigated the right way,
okay, that might have been what it was. It might have been you didn't feel like it was navigated the correct way with as far as how it was produced or something like that. I think
it was that, and also, you know, you was telling everybody your business about being on the road.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so that too. So it was things that you didn't totally agree with me presenting or whatever, but still, you still gave me the respect of me being on the cast or me being on the show, and kind of, you know, you gave me grace. So I appreciate that.
And with all that being said, I do want to take my time, because we're in the realm of reconciliation. I can also admit when I have done too much. So for Robert, I definitely apologize for carrying on the way that I did, especially the after, because I don't know if you know about Floridians, but we stay on the neck for as long as we feel. And I felt like I stayed on.
Yeah. It was a better Dutch man, so it was wearing him low. and no shade. She had me on the show one time on one of her shows. She was like, she kept saying it. I said, stop saying it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that, and I was like, and I will, you know, I will stop calling you Homer Simpson. Because she did tell me to stop calling you Homer Simpson too. So she has been neutral, and that's one thing I can respect about my baby, you know what I'm saying? Because just as well as she corrected you on your platform, she corrected me in person, like, hey, daddy, like, you know, like, I respect, like,
that's why I really wanted to have this conversation.
So that's what so it's mutual on both ends, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate this moment, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate like,
girl, you gotta be looking back. What's going on?
My dog.
Yes.
Oh, girl.
Yes. Oh, trust me. You know, if anything over here. But yes.
Sorry.
But yes, I appreciate you in that moment as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I do understand that you have a job to do and you're gonna do your job. You know what I'm saying? And I respect it. You know, like I said, that's what when I said you switched up. It's just I didn't understand. I felt like you said, you from the streets, you from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like when I felt like if we one way, then I felt like we got to understand it. Then I felt like, okay, if anything, yeah, give you a review, but I would expect it. But it don't really give that. I don't really think Robert is like that, or I don't really feel Robert is like that, instead of adding fuel to that energy and that fire, you know what I'm saying? So that's where my, you know what I'm saying, my thing came about. And then even with the live, you know what I'm saying, like I will go remove that live. That's the only live I still got up. You know, I removed all my lives, so that's the only live that I still got up to this day.
Because he's having go look at it.
I went back to it. I went like a couple months ago, and I was like, "Child, you still got this up?"
And that's why I don't even.
And I was surprised you kept it up because I was.
I don't even keep up live, so you know that. Yes, I don't even keep up live, so I will go remove it as well. Hey, Abby, my baby, my sister-in-law. But yes, I do appreciate your apology, and I hope you receive mine genuinely. You know what I'm saying? And just for the record, to tie into what y'all brought this for, in reference to reality stars and reviewers, that. These are spaces, like these are moments that we have to understand, and we have to be cautious with understanding each other, me understanding him understanding me, and us moving on. A lot of times they won't get to have this opportunity, and that's just something that y'all will have to have within each other, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate this platform.
I'm so glad y'all came today. I really am.
So I should be Robert Ray, and you be YB moving forward, right?
Yeah,
we gonna lock it with a heart. Lock it with a heart.
Okay.
I love this. No shade. This one was
no. Shout out to Chloe because she was really genuine. Like when she first found out we had a little bit of a issue, she was like, "Oh no, honey, no, we got to fix that." And in that moment, that I was like, you know what? I really don't have any real live issue with you on that level. So let's go ahead and have the conversation because it did hurt me and my homegirls because I was like, oh my God, like you've always been like husband. You know what I mean? You've been husband for a very long time. So
I know we had a great relationship.
And I will never do you like Rachel did. Oh, stop. Never. Never, honey. I respect to the law.
Oh my God, Robbie, I was not expecting that.
I need to
oh my God,
let me tell you something. I had a day yesterday. We had toured at the ball.
Yes, they all left there fighting and stuff.
That's why I got a wig on right now, bitch. Yes. We had toured at the ball.
Fighting?
Yes, it was a big fight at the ball yesterday. YB, like they tore it down. Like
we had bitches in the motherfucking cradle positions, bitch, begging for help. Whew. So
girl, stop.
It was a lot. I wasn't there because I'm protecting my peace at all costs.
I know that's right. Yeah. Are you? So I heard you weren't coming back to the space. Is that correct?
You heard me?
You weren't.
No, I didn't get the question. I'm sorry.
Are you not coming back to web reality anytime soon?
No. I'm not. I'm done with where I this and I'm. With me, shout out to Scotty. I did an interview with Scotty as well, and I spoke on it. But this platform with me coming back into this space, it was more so for them, you know what I'm saying? That was new to it, and they was inviting me and wanted me to be all the same, like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to, of course, I'm not going to tell my daughter no. She's trying to get comfortable. She's trying to be, you know what I'm saying? She don't know these people. She didn't know. I got to understand that I was the base of this because basically I knew everybody, you know what I'm saying? I was the core. So that's the only reason that y'all see me in that space. I'm at peace, YB. I don't want to be getting into it with these people. I don't want to be arguing. I don't want to be fussed. I don't want to be in that space. I don't want to deal with the comments. I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with it. I'm genuinely at peace with my life, so I don't have to be on this platform. I appreciate everything that Chasing Reality, Adaro, Markel, even though Reese is not on speaking terms right now, I appreciate her bringing me into this web world. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything, the comments, the fans, the reviews, the bad ones. I appreciate that stuff, and it has definitely given me a platform to grow off of, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's a space for other people that can genuinely thrive off of that and genuinely want that. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to take that away from them. So no, you won't see me. If you do see me, it'll be very once every 4 seasons, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that you actually had I think that before this past season he was considering coming back. Yes. But after seeing how rowdy we was
and now they did ask me after season 5, I did say I'd give one more season because I feel like season 5 was taken away from me being my last season and like what we just spoke on earlier. So I said I would give another season, you know what I'm saying? But coming into this season and just I'm in a different space. Yeah. This is a different platform. It's different people on the platform. It's a different direction they're moving. It's not the same as 4 and 5. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different dynamic. So I'm gonna respect that. and give it to them. You know what I'm saying? I will always be here to support them. I will always be here to show my love. And I'm an OG. I'm a real Chasing Dallas OG. Like, I was bred here. I was born here. Most of these people grew here, flew here. We grew here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just respectfully, So I'll always be Chasing Dallas. I'll always be part of the family. But me being on the scene and I'm not gonna do that. I don't have to do that next season because they in the.
We got it.
They got it now. Y'all won't see me next season. I'm telling you, or the season after.
Would you ever consider being in production?
Everybody keep asking me that.
Okay, so I think that y'all were getting yourself a little confused. So when we was talking about Robert, when we kept saying Robert was doing this camera stuff, and this is that and other, we wasn't referring to this Robert. We was referring to Markel's husband, Robert.
Yes.
So I think that a lot of people thought that he was in production or he was doing production, but that was Robert's husband.
Yes.
His name is Robert.
Yes.
Well, no, I figured you have a keen way of like bringing people together. I think.
Oh, I do. I do. Each season, I never thought about it.
Casting, but...
Do you know other gentlemen like yourself that have a more masculine presence?
Yes,
I'm the Chasing Dallas. I mean, I'm really chasing. That's why. But let me say this. I feel like Markel and them does a great job with production. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. Me, I don't have to answer your question. I never had an eye for production or anything like that. I just help my friend, or you know what I'm saying, help like the people on the show, like give them advice and stuff like that. So I could be like the Chasing Dallas Godfather or something. But to actually be in production and do this, I don't want to put listen.
You're not trying to hold no camera.
I don't want to put the energy into all of this. Like I'm at peace. I don't want to deal with the different attitudes, the different.
My thing is this. I've been trying to push this for the longest for the Chasing Girls, and it's no offense. What I'm about to say, I don't want no one to be offended by it. And this is not my lust for trade or masculinity. This has nothing to do with that. I've always wanted to see a show, and I brought this up years ago when it was just Chasing Atlanta, and I was like, what about like the real trade of Atlanta or the real trade of Dallas? I want to see a show.
If it was a different show, yes.
A different show. Like if you had associations with more men that have a more masculine presence that wouldn't be afraid to be filmed and have a show, I would love to see that.
I would. I would, YB. I would do something like that to where the most of to show like our lives, because we're still to the streets. We're still connected to the, like, you know what I'm saying, the street.
I might get in production in a couple years.
I'm just saying,
that's a good. I would do something like that. I would do something like that. It's just that I don't have the time for the negativity.
No, I hear you.
And all of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. Yeah. Yeah,
I just think you do a good job with helping us navigate the space, though.
Yeah, I can see that. That's why I say the Chasing Dallas Godfather. But to be storylines, create storylines, to put the energy into everything it takes to produce a show, I don't have the energy.
That's what you got a team for.
Yeah. Okay, y'all.
That's what you got a team for.
I'll think about it.
Honey, now that we're back in holy matrimony, and I'll be your lover and your secretary. Hello, God, honey. Working every day of the week, honey. Okay.
Okay, let me know. Let me know.
So now you done divorced my chick. You done got money back.
I'm a single guy. Stop the lawyers, honey.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
That prenup.
And
we can bring and Lamont could be a part of it too, since he's getting.
No. You lost me.
Okay, sorry.
I respect Lamont. I love Lamont. But I would never. Me and Lamont would never, ever be in a space again to where we are doing anything like that, looking at each other like that, look like it's okay, we're good.
Hold on, can we say this for the record? Because you didn't get to come to the reunion. So,
oh my God.
I just have a question. So, when we went to this to the barbershop to get my hair cut that time,
okay,
and we had the conversation with him, was he not pussy popping and backpedaling the whole time? And he started off saying it was wrestling, then it went into we was doing this.
We did.
It was. I just want to know. Because he made it seem like I was lying. I was like, girl.
Okay.
Just tell the people.
Okay, no, she is not lying. When we went, I'm going to speak on this and be done.
Okay,
Don't ask me this shit no more. Because, you know, I'm the...
Get into the thing, honey.
Oh, my God. While me done set up, did the little shimmy and everything. But no, okay. We went to... My daughter called me and asked me to go take her to get her haircut. I was actually gonna, because my grandmother lived in the South too, so I was gonna actually take her and then go to the South. But when I got out the car to hug him, he was like, "You're not gonna stay?" And I was like, "Okay." I looked at my daughter. My daughter was like, "Stay." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Okay, I'll stay." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you wouldn't have stayed, it might have gotten to some things,
Right.
you know,
Oh
with
my
me.
God, daughter, shut up. I so I went in there or whatever. So I actually asked him, I was like, we was talking and everything. And I said, Lamont, I said, I want to ask you something, but I'm not going to ask you in front of my daughter, you know, because I was giving him that space, you know. But she said, I think I know what you're talking about. You talking about so-and-so, so-and-so. And so I said, yeah. So basically she already knows. So I was like, well, she knows what I'm going to ask. So do you want to ask, you know, because I hadn't talked about it with her. So I was like, do you want me to ask you? He was like, yeah, go ahead. So I asked him, did him and Rachel do something or whatever, mess around? And he was like, at first he was like, no, it wasn't like that. We just wrestled. And I was like, okay, wrestled. I said, Lamont, you know, because I've been in a relationship with him. So I know that you have to give him the opportunity to tell on himself. And that's exactly what I did. I just have to keep asking, because he'll convict himself because his own, he don't like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just asking questions like, so all y'all did was wrestle. Okay, wrestle. So you know what wrestling is. I mean, y'all didn't do no nothing. Then he started giving bits and pieces. He said, okay, we kissed. We kissed. And I was like, okay, so that's far from wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all was wrestling and kissing. So it went from wrestling to kissing. Then it went from, they went to the store. She came back with no lip gloss on. No lipstick on. So he said everybody in the party was looking and knowing that they had done something because she didn't have any lipstick on. So I said, well, if she didn't have any lipstick on, it means she had to been giving you head. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, he looked at me and I said, right. I said, so that's far from wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, okay. Well, she did give me head. You know what I'm saying? This and that. I was like, okay, so y'all messed around. Y'all did something. Just say that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's all y'all did, Lamont? Like that. And I was like, so now that we here, is that all y'all did? And he was like,
he said, he didn't know what to give.
He didn't know what to give because he was like, well, her energy, he said, because his exact words, because like when I used to suck yours, it was like, you know, this, but with her, when she put hers out in hers, it was a feminine energy with it, and it was different for me. And so I said, oh, so both of y'all, okay, that's what y'all did. I basically gave both of y'all, you know, that. And then that's where we got it from or whatever. And so I said, fuck me, you don't owe me no loyalty, you don't owe me no respect. You know, I do your wife know, do your girl know, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, not yet. And I was like, you might want to tell her
and tell her fast.
And tell her fast before it airs, you know what I'm saying, before it get out there, because it's starting to come around. So I was like, you're wrong, you disrespected her in that aspect. So I was telling him that you don't owe me no respect. Your respect was to be held to her. So you need to tell her, because that's who you with. So he went and told her and all of that, and they came up with that story about.
I have a few questions, if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay,
because we got something.
You know, I don't really want to talk about this daughter.
But just a minute.
But okay, YB, I'm gonna give you this, but this is it. I don't want to speak on 2 questions about this stuff, and that's it. I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, question number 1. How long were you and Lamont dating?
Me and Lamont was in a relationship for almost 2 years.
Hold on. There's a caveat to that. Hold on. And this was how long ago? This was like.
Me and Lamont dated like our daughter. My daughter is no. Me and Lamont dated. My daughter would be 21 this year. Our daughters was 7 and 8.
Oh, this is years ago. Years.
So is it safe to say
when he first came?
So it's like 10 plus years.
This when he first came. I got him before he hit the scene. Before he was out. Before we met at a park. Our kids was playing at a park, and we both was at the park with our kids playing and stuff because we lived in a similar neighborhood. And we met at a park. And when we met at the park, our kids, babies. Our kids was playing at the park, and they became cool. You know what I'm saying? Our daughters got the same birthday and everything, but our kids was at the park. And they became cool or whatever, and then we kind of hit it off from there. It was not on no gay stuff and no Alps, no clubs, no.
Let's say I met in
person at a park. We always had a genuine. This is our first incident, and even when we broke up, we didn't break up on bad terms. We didn't break like it was nothing bad. Like we never experienced nothing bad until this moment. Right? And this wasn't even a bad experience because he don't owe me no loyalty. This is more so for him. I don't care. We've been done. I don't care. Anybody can have.
So when things ended, was that a mutual breakup or was he for the streets? and you couldn't deal with it.
He wasn't this person that he is now. This sexual he was sexual, but he wasn't this person that he is now. Was not.
He wasn't.
He wasn't fluent
not
like he is now.
STD.
Yeah, he wasn't all of that. He was more like a.
This is before. This is before the veneers. This is before
all of that. This is before. This is like we didn't have none of that. I didn't experience him like that. It was.
This is also before the Pleasure You video and all that.
Yeah, this is before all of that. In our aspect, we just outgrew. Like it was just like not even say outgrew. It's like we outgrew the moment. We outgrew like the situation. It was just different. We was on different terms, different paths. He didn't do nothing bad. He never cheated. We never cheated. We never fought. We never had no bad nothing. Like it was always a beautiful experience. We just chose the part.
And my second question is this: if you didn't know anything that you know now, or even then about the Rachel and Lamont situation, watching things play out on the season and the reunion, do you think that you would have been able to tell that he was lying his ass off the whole time?
You said if I wouldn't have known him.
She's saying if you didn't know about the situation, if you would not have been privy to this information prior to the reunion, is that what you're asking, right?
Yeah, if you wouldn't have known about Rachel and Lamont's situation at all, judging based on their behavior and the situations throughout the season and the reunion, would you have been able to tell that he was lying?
Oh yeah.
I knew. I told daughter when I knew he was. I knew it happened when it came out. When they told me, I knew he was lying. That's why I knew. When he first said they was wrestling, I looked at her like
he was like.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think you might.
But no, even I'm saying though, if you didn't know any of that stuff at all, just based on watching
body language,
the show and the reunion, his reactions and his responses, would you have been able to tell he was lying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think so
absolutely.
Too. Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely.
I think anybody could tell he was lying. He was so full of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. And everybody I'm gonna give y'all this is just the one to grow on because I'm in the spirit. This question that everybody keep asking.
Who's doing the bending?
Oh my God.
I was trying to be respectful, but go ahead, honey.
Oh my God.
I was trying.
I'll do it for y'all.
I'm gonna this for my daughter. This one for you.
Okay.
That to answer that question. I'm not gonna never be in no relationship
where it's not
equal
mutual.
Mutual parties. We both was bending. We both was doing the bending. We didn't bring anybody into our relationship. We never did nothing like that. Everybody keep asking, did y'all bring because of his relationship he's in now? I've never had to deal with that. Lamont only wanted me. Lamont was satisfied with me. I was satisfied with Lamont. It was good. And that was that.
Period.
Is there a preference? Do you like to bend more or?
It depends on the mood, the time of the day.
Honestly, like it equally, Bobby. It's not. No, I love them equally. To be honest, I love them equally.
I feel like you say the same thing.
Yeah.
I've opened my horizons now to being more versed, but I like to be a cunt.
That's like you in the building.
Yeah, I like them equally though, but it just depends on the person like that I'm with. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like them equally. I'm a grown man, and that's very in tune with his sexual side. So when it comes to those type of things, I'm good on either way.
Are you currently with someone?
Huh?
Are you currently in a relationship?
I'm not currently in a relationship right now, but I am. I am.
Who I gotta come get? You ain't the only person that can reach out and touch.
But there is someone that is making me extremely happy right now. That I am looking to possibly soon be in a relationship with. Yes.
Okay.
This is why we get the soft opera today. He had a good night.
Shut up.
But we do actually have that was a cute one. But we do actually have to go because we actually are supposed to go to this field day in Dallas. We finna go get sweaty with these bitches and go run and tumble and fumble with these girls. So
okay.
skirt out of here. But I appreciate this opportunity. I really enjoyed today. I'm glad y'all had the conversation.
Yes.
I'm glad that y'all were able to reconcile and get out on one accord.
And thank you, daughter, for bringing this to the platform. Thank you for hearing me and receiving it, YB. Thank y'all, your audience, for receiving me. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we can move forward. And hopefully this helps future, you know what I'm saying, people to come in our spaces, you know what I'm saying? So.
And be looking forward to hitting me up if y'all want to have a conversation with somebody you don't like and want to see. Me and YB will fix it for you. Fix it, Jesus. Yeah.
But
thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you guys for doing this, and thank you. I'm so glad we're finally able to come together in Kumbaya. Yeah. Feels good.
I know, and we will never have this issue again because you ain't gonna have to review me no more because I'm not gonna be on there.
What do you think?
Y'all trying to give me enough unless it's another show or something like that. But no, it's all love. And I thank y'all again.
Until next time, y'all.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night. Be safe, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Thank you, Chloe. I appreciate you, boo.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all. Yes, girl. Yes. Shout out to Harvianna. Unfortunately, she couldn't join us. She's traveling, hello, God. She's in Atlanta, serving truth and justice in the streets, honey. Hello, God. Providing law and order for the girls, okay? Unfortunately, she could not be with us. It is unfortunate because I love Harvianna's personality, and I definitely love that flavor, that spice, that nice, okay, hello, God. But there will be other opportunities, hello, God, for collaboration. Tuesday, as it stands, please join us for our live conversation with Twan Dixon from a therapist perspective, brought to you by Chasing Reality. Okay, hello, God. Thank you guys for coming through and joining in the conversation and bearing witness to truth and justice and reconciliation. Hello, God. Okay. Shout out again to Chloe Von Dutch. I really do appreciate you for putting all this together. Let me tell y'all something. Chloe, there's not going to be an if. When things come together, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, the way that she prepared for this was very peak level vibes. So make sure you're going to her YouTube channel, subscribing. Make sure you're getting into the things of those things, because like I feel like the more she does this, she could really be the next thing in our YouTube space for web reality, like real shit. It's really giving, like the conversation, the DMs, the readiness, the organization, the detail. She really put this together and brought two forces together, because I'm a force within myself and Robert's a force within himself as well. And so just being able to bring people together and have the conversation, and again, just the legwork, getting to this point, it's giving what needs to be given, honey. Okay, period, honey. It's what's needed, required, and desired. So shout out to Chloe for making it happen. Shout out to Robert for being willing and sitting down and letting us just be transparent. Hello, God, pulling back thine layers. Hello, God, and getting into the minutiae. That way we can build bridges of unity that we so desperately need within our community. Okay, period. That's what it's about. That's what I'm about. Okay? Hello, God. I try. I definitely try. And it's moments like this that make everything worth it. You can have moments with people. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Not everyone is going to see eye to eye, and everybody's going to have agreements, with every single thing they come across. I actually have always liked Robert. Y'all know that. Hello, God. So, going through what we went through was, sometimes things need to happen in order for growth to take place. My growth and his growth as well. As y'all can tell by this genuine conversation tonight, that's exactly what it was. Chloe, what is your girl? Can someone put her link in the chat? If not, I'll put it in the description box of this when we're done. That way you guys can follow her. Chloe, I think it's I'll give it to you right now. Hold on. After the chase with Chloe Von Dutch. There you go, Chloe. Shout out to Chloe. There y'all go. Yes, God, honey. I also want to, at some point, I'm going to put together a special panel. I got the idea having the conversation with Robert. There are a lot of gentlemen within the web reality space that are fathers, and I do think that it's important to highlight that and have those conversations. And really, it's brought on by Chef Pablo interested me. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out my video from yesterday. If not, after this, please go to it and support that video. Excuse me, where we're talking about trauma. And Chef Pablo is a father, and just hearing a lot of the stuff that he experienced recently with his own family in relation to him being a dad, I think it begs a conversation. I think Robert could be interested in that as well. There are a couple of people throughout the web reality space that are fathers. I would just love to get their take. I think that would be different. It would be new. No one has done that yet. And you know me, I like to bring the things. And what better way to do that than over here, hello God, to the platform of truth and justice. And getting into the minutia of fatherhood while being part of, the LGBTQ spectrum. That's a conversation that we need to have. And again, seeing there are plenty of fathers in this space and seeing the toll that it takes on these men, I can only imagine. So what better way to no longer imagine than to bring it to life? Hello, God. Okay, period. Hello, God. Oh, cat update. They're fine. They chilling, girl. She got into a brawl last night, honey. Miss Ebony, girl, no do me, no, honey. She was out there. She got into a brawl last night, honey. They almost scared her out of the neighborhood, girl. But she back in the house, safe and sound, honey. Okay. Yes, Robert said he loves that, honey. Just Okay, I'll let you know. I have to reach out to a couple other people, but I think that would be a great panel discussion. And I think that we need those perspectives. We need those experiences and those journeys talked about. Robert, I don't know if you had a chance or if you even watched Twan Dixon's show, but watch the last episode, episode 5. And I don't know if you relate or if you know about him or his situation, but like get into it, honey, because it was really good. My heart poureth out for him. I can only imagine what all that feels like. And I think again the best way to make more people aware and be a part of that conversation is for you guys to share in what that experience has been like for you guys. I know we got into that in our interview together a long time ago, but just the panel of, gay fathers, even Rio, we can bring his roly-poly ass over here, girl. And no, my bad, girl. She wants to be paid for her services, girl. So, we don't pay the girls, honey. We don't pay the girls. Yeah, Robert, get into it. It's really heartfelt. It's heavy as fuck. Don't get me wrong. And I know you, underneath all that tough exterior, child, you're a real sensitive man, honey. So have the tissues ready because it'll take you there. It will take you there. Shout out to Chef Pablo, honey. May God continue to bless you, honey. But yeah, I think it's a discussion that's needed, required, and desired, especially for our community. And again, to bring more awareness. Have fun now, bitches, because y'all ain't going in my room after this. The only reason that room door is open is because of the AC, bitch, period. That's the only reason. So gallivant around while you can, because once this live is ended, it's back to regular schedule of programming, honey. Get into it. Anyway, y'all, that's all I have. I have to prepare the table before me in the presence of thine trade. Hello, God. Honey, y'all know it is Sunday fun day for y'all, Sunday whole day for me, period. Okay? I'm going to get up out of here. And once again, I cannot say this enough. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Harvianna, who could not be with us tonight. Nonetheless, I appreciate you, boo. Shout out to you guys who showed up and showed out in the chat with your support, your comments, and just all the love that you continue to show me and everybody else that graces the platform. I will no longer be trying to preface this in the future. I'm going to leave y'all with this, people. Respect. Period. You come into the chat. I appreciate any newcomers, people who just, I don't know, you just want to be here. Girl, I need y'all to understand. When you see what we're trying to do here, you can feel, you can smell, hello God, the reconciliation. You can see that people are trying to come together in positivity. Don't come on here being shady and being nasty and leaving nasty comments towards people. No, this isn't what we're here for. Okay? That's all I really ask. And I think for the most part, I haven't had to say that in a very long time. So obviously it probably was some people that just haven't been over here before. I've seen the president before, but not like that. But don't be coming out the gate just being nasty and disrespectful to my guests. Okay? That's not the tea. That's not what we're going for. Okay, period. All right, y'all. I'm living for my hair for some reason. Doesn't it look cute? I know I need a haircut. I need a line up and shit. But like something about like this moment right here I'm having, it's giving, it's serving. Hello, God. Anyway, I'm about to receive someone's cock, girl. So I'll catch y'all on the flip side, okay? Until the next video, y'all, be blessed and never stressed. Remember that health is truly wealth. And I'll see y'all later on in the future. All right? Take care, y'all. Bye.